Jordan, what's it like to play with a guy who shoots 60?
Yeah, I mean, it was this course, those first 7 holes are where you got to get it, and he was 6 through 7, ended up being 7 through 8. So I played with Bryson the first 2 rounds when he won at Bay Hill, and when he's driving it that straight, it's got to be what it was like in the early 2000s with Tiger, just hitting it the furthest and the straightest, and it's a little easier from there, but you still got to get it in the hole, and he just drove the ball well, made a few longer putts today, and had it going. And I was just trying to piggyback a little bit, but when you're watching it can be a little bit kind of frustrating if you don't have it going, just because you're like, man, is this what everyone's doing? Is everyone tearing it up? And but yeah, I mean, what a round. Certainly thought he had good putts that looked like on 17 and 18 that just kind of Tour does a good job of making it kind of on a knob to where if you're straight on, a lot of times it can kind of go that way at the hole. And I think he hit a couple really good putts that just happened to not go in.
Were you bummed that he didn't make the putt on 18?
I might have been the first person to play with 259s on the PGA Tour had he made it, so I was kind of rooting for that. I played with Justin when he shot it, so yeah, I mean, obviously when you can witness history, it's pretty cool, especially when I'm at 3 under and not towards the lead. If I was towards the lead, you always want to be closer to the lead, but shots he hit today, the putts he made, 12 under is 59, 58 on most of the golf courses we play, so I wouldn't consider it any worse than some other 59s people have shot.
With respect to the fans, we've seen kind of a mixed bag in regards to Bryson. How were they today? Did you feel they were supportive?
Yeah, big groundswell there on the back 9. Seemed like a lot more people showed up as he was 8 under through 11, 9 under through 12, whatever it ended up being, and then I think 16 when he made that, it was obviously got pretty loud, and then 18 was pretty cool. The reaction with the amphitheater setting there when his landed past and started spinning back. So, yeah, it seemed very supportive.
Jordan, with respect to your very fine score, a lot of guys are really tearing it up out there. Is there any defense to any course when it's soft for you guys, when the climate is like this?
You'd have to have, if it's soft, you just have to have narrow fairways and high rough. But the fairways are pretty wide here and the greens are pretty big. So, I mean, you have to really kind of screw up to make a bogey. Some holes it's harder to get balls really close to feed in close to the hole because they are fast greens, and you can get on some bad sections on the green, but it's hard to kind of be totally out of position unless you do something really wrong.
Thanks.
Okay.
Jordan, thank you.